What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today is another one of those off days. If you guys have seen the previous video was an off day video. Off days are like days that I am not on the camera. I'm either kicking my legs up, resting, watching a video, playing games or something, or I do things around the house that just needs to be done. In the previous video, I also included like going out and helping my friends out with some car stuff, things like that, like things that I just want to do off camera, and today is one of those days. So actually the off day stuff was like 3 days ago, and I've just been doing a lot of things off camera. And if you guys notice in the background, I have a lot of stuff piled up right there because I've actually just been cleaning. Off days also include like washer and dryer running here in the background, so sorry for all the noise. You guys probably noticed right here behind me we got a lot of stuff going on, and that is because I've been cleaning the last 2 days. And what led up to all of this was I went to the backyard to look for a part, realized that the fence is actually breaking apart to expose me and the neighbor side. So I took it upon myself to clear all the stuff in the backyard a little bit and repair the fence. I'll show you guys in a moment. And then while I was cleaning out the fence and all the things that I was moving around, I was like, well, I don't want to put it back to where it was at. I kind of want to organize it a little bit, throw away a lot of things, and just make the side of the house that much more organized for me to go and find parts. I actually mentioned this in the previous video. We went to the storage unit to grab these totes, but we ended up going to help out Mondo instead. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm still doing some more cleaning, but I'm not going to show you guys too much of the cleaning part. I want to actually build a bumper rack. A bumper rack. Yes, I went to the backyard yesterday and I didn't realize that I have probably about 10 bumpers back there, and I kind of want to give them their own designated spot and stack them together without messing them up, because half of them are fiberglass. You guys ever seen body shops where they have like bumpers on racks, or like when you go to an automotive shop or a part shop, they have bumpers stacked up on the rack going up? So what I want to do is I want to utilize this giant bar that's on the floor. I used this for the DB1 frame repair a couple of years ago, and I want to take this bar out of this section here and just use it to make a bumper rack. This is probably going to be the base leg because it is very heavy, and I don't want to stack a bunch of bumpers where if I use a much more lighter base, it probably would teeter-tot and tip over. So I'm probably going to draw it out a little bit before we decide to cut anything, and I'm gonna try my best to find whatever I have around the house and just use that instead of paying for new material that's just gonna sit and rot in the backyard. And metal is kind of expensive right now. So after a couple of back and forth, I made this little illustration of what the rack is going to look like in all of the measurements. so check it out. This is what I drew up, and my fence in the backyard, the height of it is 66 inches, give or take. It doesn't have those pointy ends on the top. It's literally just flat. But anyways, this is the rack that I want to make. And before I get into this is what it's supposed to look like if you're standing right in front of it. So these legs on the bottom is to keep it from tilting forward. We're using little tubular bars that we are using for the canopy, which you guys can see right here. I have a bunch of these in the backyard, or at least my dad, but you know, he's not going to be using it. But I'm going to be using those bars to make the stand and the legs to put the bumper on. Each stand should maybe hold up 2 bumpers, maybe more, because some of these bumpers don't have support and some of these bumpers are fiberglass. So it's not going to be too much stress on the back support here. So over here we have all the measurements. The height of the big square tubing on the floor is 2 inches tall. The fence is 66, so I'm gonna knock 2 inches off. The stand itself on the bar is going to be 64 inches high. I'm going to do cross bars 40 inches across to support most of the bumper center, and it's going to be 20 inches for the bar to come out for the bumper to sit on. The bumpers are typically about 18 inches for the EF. I've already measured it, and in between each bar is going to be 20 inches, so that way we can stack 2 or 3 bumpers in between without it touching the next bar. So The bottom here is going to be 25 inches outward, and the bar on the top is 20, so we have an extra 5 so it doesn't teeter-tot if it gets too heavy. And then the center one is going to be 40 as well, but overall about 48 in width. So this is what I drew up. I'm going to go grab whatever I have around the house and start measuring out, start doing some cutting, some cleaning before we prep everything for welding. All right, guys, so we have the 3 beams cut out, 25 for the legs, 40 across for the back support, and this is where the bar is going to be welded going upward to make the stand for the bumpers. So right now I'm going to set this on the floor to get it nice and flat, line these up, whip out my welding machine and tack them up and make sure everything is looking Gucci potatoes, and then we'll build our bars with this long tube here. If I need, there is a second one over there, so let's do that. So we have the base tacked up, and right now we're going to do the bars. The bar is going to be 64 from the top to the bottom, which is going to be welded to the base plate. And this, well, not this side, but this one has the little wing nut broken off. So I think I'm just going to use this right here to tie the 2 bars together according to the picture. So instead of now being welded together like that, we're just going to tie in the joints to tie the bars in together. So let's go ahead and measure out to 64 inches. Okay, so I have these 2 bars cut, equaled out, and it is all cleaned up on the end here so we can weld it down there. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to cut the crossbar that's going to connect the 2 top together to make sure this is true before we weld it on there. Now, I was going to weld these 2 on this 40-inch beam right here, but I think I'm just going to make it a little bit wider and weld it here so that way I can add a support leg to ensure that the shelf itself is not going to bow forward. So more measurements and more cutting. All right, guys, so I have all of the 20 bars that's supposed to be welded onto the support to hold the bumpers up. I did find some extra material in the backyard, and I made these little gusset tube. It's gonna go like this or the other way around, but this is to support the main support, the hoop, from bow and forward once all the bumper is stacked on. Now I am burning on a 110 outlet, and this is some really thick material, so it was kind of hard to weld onto here, especially because the material is super cold. But once I hold it there long enough, I'm able to penetrate the material, but then after a couple of beads, it'll shut my outlet out. It'll cut my power down. So I'm trying my best to make sure it penetrates, that this is not going to break at the weld point. So hopefully with this, it'll help. I have it on both sides. So right now I am going to weld all of these in, or tack it all in, make sure everything looks good, test fit a bumper maybe, and we'll get it fully welded up. And like I was saying, it's gonna alter once you start building it, and I'm pretty stoked. I'm pretty stoked. Yes sir, we got 3 bumpers on here, and it is, I mean, it looks taller than I had pictured it, but nonetheless, I'm not worried about it sticking up too tall. But we have space for plenty of bumper stacking, so here we can probably put like 3 or 4. Same goes down low, 3 or 4. Fiberglass, plastic, no bumper support, and I think this should be plenty strong. I mean, it is kind of flimsy on the top, but once it's against the wall on the side of the house, it should stabilize a little bit, I think. And now I'm ready to, well, I gotta pull all the bumper off, but now I'm ready to fully weld this up. All right guys, check it out. Bumper rack installed, and I actually have a lot more bumper than I had thought. So starting from the bottom here, I should have put the heavier ones on the bottom. This one is a polyurethane Wings West front bumper. This one is a wagon bumper that I made into a 3-piece front end, so it's got a lot of body filler and everything on it. Just never finished it, but it's heavy because of all the body filler, and should have been on the bottom to weigh the leg, the stand down, but I might reorganize it, I'm not sure yet. But anyways, wagon bumper, polyurethane, Wing West bumper, Wing West fiberglass rear bumper, blueberries bumper, fiberglass Wing West bumper, fiberglass rear Wing West bumper, EF sedan front bumper. This is the bumper that came off Project CRX with the cutout for the intercooler. This one is the H2B CRX original front bumper that was also cut out for the intercooler. This one is a spare bumper for 8889 CRX I got from the homie Leo, rest in peace. So now that we have this all stacked up, it is not lying all over the floor. We got a lot of space back there because half of this bumper used to sit back there. So we still have some space underneath. A lot of space right there. I do have a lot of exhaust piping. I need to figure out RSX, 2.5-inch CRX EF hatch, Leo's old exhaust, customer's old exhaust, size old exhaust. Got a bunch of hood over there, and actually let me take you guys over here. I had to reorganize this section because all of this wood was broken in, so I pulled it back, put some new screws, pretty firm, got a little strap to hold it in place to my canopy up here. And this is where like a lot of my personal, maybe using soon stuff is at. You guys see we have a bunch of hoods over here. Wagon, my original wagon hood painted gray, spare wagon, SIR, carbon spare panel hood that came off the H22 CRX, Wing West side skirts, Wing West door cap, the wide front end fender for the wagon, bunch of CRX fenders, half and half CRX fenders, spare wagon fenders, just a bunch of spare parts lying around, single cam header, a lot of my brother's bike stuff. I got to clear all that weed. Obviously I haven't been back there in a while because you can see how tall that has grown. But all of the stuff that was sitting here that caved over, I moved it now over this way. And a lot of this stuff here is my right hand drive wagon stuff, and stuff that I may need in the future, or stuff I may need for the new build. So we're just kind of keeping it in here. I do have another tote outside that I'm going to be kind of transferring a lot of stuff over and throwing a lot of that stuff in there away. Pile of stock Steelies, my brother's old wheels, stock G35 wheels. Just got a little pile of wheels going on here, but I do have a better walkway, which is good. Just got to figure out maybe a little platform from here so that way I don't go falling into that hole. EF hatch wing, EF wagon wing. I'm not sure how long that's been down there, but forgot it was even there. But yeah, other than that, we're making progress. Just realized there's more Steelies down there. I do have a bunch of Steelies over here because back in the days when I couldn't afford wheels, Steelies and hubcaps was what I was rolling on. So let's figure out what more we need to organize. This tote came from the backyard, that tote came from the backyard. All the metal and heavy stuff is in this bin again. And this is a spare tote we brought from the storage unit. Found some center consoles, kind of forgot about these, so I cleaned them up. Got a bunch of old harnesses that was submerged in water from that tote. I can't use any of these because they're OBD2 harnesses, and I don't have any need for OBD2 harnesses. I'm probably gonna toss them, but yeah, more organization. But that's why I always gotta explain to people, hey guys, we lost a lot of daylight already, obviously, right? But what we've been doing is I cleared everything out on the table, all the stuff that was in the tote, a lot of it. Witness, I threw a lot of it away. I saw it all. I chopped it with the chop. Yep, the chop saw, everything. I threw it in the trash. A lot of the stuff that had like duplicates of. I did go through that bin right there. That was a bunch of plastic and stuff. I stored the ones that were good, one set, and then the second, third, fourth, fifth set I threw them all away. The stuff that was sitting here all moved. The totes that was stacked up on, you know, the big bin, which is right here, is also stashed in the backyard. I've been cleaning the backyard with a lot of the other totes that had a bunch of stuff that was like old or rained down with water and all that. So that's all cleaned up. Everything's put back away. Bumper rack is done. All the hoods, totes are in the backyard. A lot of the metal stuff is in that bin. And the last thing is this hood right here. I actually forgot I had this hood. This is an EF hatch hood, which is the same as CRX. And the reason why it's still out is because I want to put this on the Project CRX. Why? Because one, the hood that's on the car is actually folded in half. So if you look over to this side, the driver's side, you can see that it is kind of bent right there, and it does not sit flush. It does not sit flush at the headlights either. So I want to take off this hood entirely so I can scrap it and then use this hood, which is not folded. It's good, great edges, for the most part cleaner than this one. But the only thing is that this hood has more dents in the front, which it's not a big issue to repair. I do have the stud gun, so I could pull all of this out. Done it before. A little dent here, typical EF dent right here. EF owner knows the factory hood always has a dent right here. So I'm gonna pop that out, but the rest of the hood itself is a lot better conditioned than the one that's on here. So I guess before, wow, my light's been on the whole entire time. I bet you this battery is dead. But on top of that, this battery's already been dead. So, joke's on you, light. Anyways, I think what I want to do is I just want to pop the old hood off and fit this one on. And if I can get it to close, latch, and have a better gap than the old hood, maybe we'll start doing the bodywork on this car a little bit at a time. Today, I officially put up the CRX for sale. And like I was telling my friends, the car's gonna be posted up for whatever price I list it as. If you guys want to see it, you go to my Instagram at Static Service, link in the description below, to see the entire details of this car and how much it is listed for. But the price is listed for how the car is currently sitting, but I am still going to be working on the car. So we're going to be doing the body work and stuff. If I don't end up selling the car by the time the body work is finished, I'll paint the car, and then, you know, we'll set it up at a higher price because of all the parts and labor to paint this car. But between now, from when I post the car up, the price is going to stay the same. I'm still going to work on it, probably start doing the body work and stuff. I'm yapping too much. Let's go ahead and pull this hood off and fit the new one on, or old new, the replacement hood for this car. So right now the hood is being held up by Herb, but once he lets it go, you can see the hood starts bending. You see where it starts bending right there? Look, I'm gonna put my finger right here at the tip, and I'm just gonna like push it down just a smidge. You see it's bending right there? Jesus. That is why I want to swap this hood out. This whole entire side does not line up with the bumper or the headlights. So simple enough. This thing does not have any windshield wiper nozzle or fluid. So there's no you know, fluid lines going to the hood. And then it's just 10 mils on both sides. 2 on each side, and this thing should come right off. I'll just put it over here. Okay. Oh, look at this one, has a nozzle on it. Shreelish. What I should have done is actually clean that hood.
I was gonna say it's a little dirty.
Got this hood for free. Lower it. See where it sits before you zap it in. It does have a latch on it. Yeah, it does have a latch on it. Thought it didn't have a latch. It's sticking up high because it has the webbing for the underneath, and it is resting on the valve cover right here. On this one, it's actually cut. So, god dang it. Hey guys, gonna have to evict you guys real soon. Just saying. What a sore eye now with this red hood instead of the red hood painted black. but this hood is a lot more easy to repair as far as dents go compared to the one that was folded. So I've been manipulating this hood for quite some time now, and I lost a lot of daylight because I was doing everything else obviously before this, and we are pretty close to getting the gaps looking decent. So this right here still sticks up about maybe an 1/8 inch, and it still bothers me because it's not flush, but the driver's side flush, I think we're pretty decent over here. Now what's weird to me is it does have an aftermarket bumper, and for some reason this gap here is not normal. And even with that hood, this gap was about the same, but more because it was lifted over here because of the damage, but the gap was somewhat the same. So not entirely sure if it's just the aftermarket bumper, but this is an OE hood, so is that one, and I'm actually liking it a lot better because it lines up here equally like the other side. I just got to get that side to come down a little bit more, and then maybe we'll start getting to pulling the dents and stuff. So there's a few right here pushed in, center right here pushed in, one outward dent. This one right here was a dent coming out. I tapped it back in. It's kind of flat, but gotta fill that in. This one right here, gotta pull that. But other than that, the rest of the hood is clean. Definitely a lot better than that one over there. So progress is being made. All I really wanted to do in this video was take a drawing and turn it into reality, and we did just that. The rack is now in the backyard. Bumper's a lot more organized. While we did the bumper organization, we also organized everything else from the front to the rear of the side of the house, and I finally now have a pathway to walk through without tripping over stuff. We did a few other little things like tossing things around, moving totes around, putting the hood on the Project CRX, and that's normally, like I said, the stuff that I don't really do on camera, but I figured we'll just take you guys along the way. Got a lot of packages right there to unbox, which is mainly for the sedan build. A lot of stuff is also still coming in, and I'm stoked for it because once all this stuff shows up, it's game time, man. The Y&S sedan build is going to commence here real soon. I am going to wrap it up for tonight though, so I hope you guys enjoyed this off day video, and if you guys did, man, be sure to leave a thumbs up. If you guys want to see some more of these off days videos, let me know in the comments below. But with that being said, I hope you guys stick around for regular programming here soon on the channel. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.